back at India's 75 years of independence, what have been the biggest milestone, positive milestone for the country? What are some things we should remind the younger people about that so that it can sustain for the next 75 years?
Oh, you see, we are a very old civilization, but in the scale of things, we are only 75 years old as a nation state. And we've come a long way. If you look back in 1947, where we were, how the country was divided, there was bloodshed, there was hate, and fault lines were created when the British left. So at that point, to pick up the pieces in 1947, where the world thought that democracy is a Western domain, elections and conducting democratic elections is something only educated people can do, only Europeans and Americans can achieve that. At that time, for our founding fathers to have taken up the challenge to make India a truly democratic republic, where adult franchise was universal. Even in the US, non-white people had voting rights much later. Women had no voting rights for a long time. But we in India decided to have one person, one vote, universal for all caste, religion, color, creed, language. That was a vision that our founding members had in 47. And they laid the foundation of an India that today we are reaping the benefits of. Of course, one can look back and saying, agar main wo karta, to waisa hota, you could find 100 faults. But look at the challenges the leaders of that time were facing. We were looked down upon, we were discriminated, we had no resources, not much talent, not educated population. And to prove to the world that we are a democracy, it took some time. And today we can stand up and say that we are really the world's largest democracy, and the world looks upon us because of what happened 75 years ago. There's no other country in the subcontinent region that people look at as examples of a truly democratic nation. I won't take names, but even in our immediate neighborhood, there is no country. India is one country because of what happened 75 years ago. Many countries took different paths. Some countries are semi-democratic, some are fully autocratic, some are loosely democratic. But India, from the Gram Panchayats to the block, district, state, MLAs, MP, multiple elections, women having one-third reservation for all local body elections in India, multi-party system, and government's change of hand is smooth. The armed forces never are involved in the shifting of power. So these are great achievements, and that happened because the people who brought us independence had that vision. We could very well be on a different track today, but sometimes we take it for granted that ये तो होना ही था. ऐसा नहीं है. It was by choice. A multi-party system was created by choice. It's sustained because our institutions have sustained. ICAI is today renowned because of the institution, not because of present, past, or future presidents, not because of how much money you're earning. It's because the credibility of the institution is impeccable. People look upon it because of the track record. Therefore, in India also, just merely conducting elections and casting a vote is not the real epicenter of our democracy. Our democracy is strong because the institutions around our systems are strong. Like in the US, institutions are strong. The judiciary, the bureaucracy, the election commission, the oversight committees, there is a check and balance. So the institutions remain strong, and our constitution is provided for them to remain strong. And that is why we are a healthy, robust, functional democracy. When those institutions are under challenge, when the credibility is under question, when the transparency is not 100%, then creates doubts. And it's upon all of us to make sure that we leave a better, functional republic for our next generation. We cannot take things for granted. Therefore, job for all of us is, fine, we fight elections, we win, we lose, we are in opposition, we are in government. I was here 10, 12 years ago, I was in government, today I'm not in government. It's part of life. But the country, the process, and the institutions, they are far more important than a leader or a party or a government. They will change with time.
True, sir.
Therefore, it's our job to do that. Sorry, I want to make sure that we go back to what you said. What do we do next to sustain our momentum for the next 75 years? I think we have to keep working on it and not take things for granted.